Yeah,
you're welcome to come for that too.
You did all that yourself. I mean, you can do it yourself.
Yeah, like in 91. So in 89, we purchased the building.
All I can tell you is look it up or go to www.writersofthefuture.com. You can check it out there, or you can go to galaxypress.com. Either way, if you want to buy something, go to galaxypress.com. If you simply just want to become an author and illustrator, writersofthefuture.com. So, Miss Chelsea, how are you today?
I'm good, Joe. How are you?
I'm alive. That's always a good sign. I mean, that's good. So,
amen.
So what I want you to do is just tell everybody a little bit about yourself, how you got into this, and then we'll go from there.
Right. Well, my name's Chelsea Garcia, and I'm the manager of a museum about L. Ron Hubbard's life here in Hollywood. We actually, today is our 33rd anniversary of the museum. And in the museum, we actually have a whole display on the writers of the future. L. Ron Hubbard presents writers and illustrators of the future. So I actually tour people and from all over. Like Hollywood is an international city, so I get to meet people from all over the world, which is always exciting. People like Joe.
Strange people.
You toured today.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
Now, so who is this L. Ron Hubbard character? Who is this guy? Do I know this guy or something? Tell me a little bit about him.
Absolutely. So L. Ron Hubbard is a professional, actually, in many fields. He was first and foremost a writer. Thus, the Writers and Illustrators of the Future contest that he started in 1983. But he was a professional in many fields. You know, he was also an educator. He was a pilot, a master mariner.
He's also a ginger.
He was a ginger.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I can resist.
Yeah, he's also done many things. As a lot of people probably know, he's a founder of the philosophy of Scientology. So the museum obviously touches upon that. A lot of people are curious. They want to know. So we get to show people from all over the world. We wrote a best-selling book, Dianetics, The Modern Science of Mental Health. And so the museum shows, you know, all aspects of his life. That's what it's there for, just to show people so that they can become introduced to him as a person. Not a lot of people know him as a person.
Well, so I think we need to push this museum more, because really you get a much better understanding of who this gentleman is by being there.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot from hanging out with y'all and John, but even my education was limited on him. So it was very nice hanging out with y'all today at the museum and learning a lot of good stuff. And by the way, you're a great tour guide, by the way.
Thanks.
I mean, I don't know if that's your actual job, but you did a good job with me. So that's always a plus. So did you work your way up to be in this, or?
Yeah, actually,
it seems a lot of hard work. So go ahead, I'll stop in there.
No, please. What were you going to say?
No, it just seems like a lot of hard work to get to where you were. So.
Well, you know, I've been working there now for 26 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
26 years? How old are you? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize.
Wow.
Well, I didn't think you was that old.
Happened
I'm sorry, I think you was like 30 or something. So I apologize. I know
better. You're my new best friend, Joe. Thank you very much.
I got a lot of women up there. I know better than women. So anybody listen, I apologize for that. But that just caught me off guard. You said 26 years. I didn't think you were that old.
When I finished high school, I started working at the museum. So I started out actually as being working on the estates, like as the curator, because there's a lot of original artifacts from L. Ron Hubbard. Like he was America's youngest Eagle Scout when he was 13. So there's his bugle, his badge, you know, you have the hats, you have many different artifacts that were his. So the museum, I started out as the curator. So I was that for the longest time. I also did other projects, you know, since working there. But yeah, so I kind of learned his life.
You're a big boss now, huh?
So now I'm the manager for the museum, which I'm very honored to do that. You know, it's about the people who walk in the door, because people are curious, they want to know, and you know, you find out for yourself. That's the museum is there for, so people can look.
Well, you're definitely well educated on him, so. But you enjoy what you do. It looks like you really enjoy it. I mean, while we were walking around, you look like you were having a good time talking with me.
Yeah.
And not everybody does. Some people just take it as a job. You see that, but that's not you.
It's not drudgery.
But you're always happy when I see it. It's always a good sign. I mean, I see you working around here with the writers gang, and you seem to always have a good positive attitude. So now I see why. From where you've been at all this time. So now I see where you've been hiding at. Oh yeah, I done found out the truth now, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, she got a great job over there. I'm jealous. I'm gonna talk to John. John, need another job, man. I'll just do, ladies and gentlemen. So so you've been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
So you must really know who L. Ron Hubbard is pretty deep now. I mean, you've been through a lot of his stuff, and so the more you read about him, do you get a better understanding the more you read,
Absolutely.
Because I mean, you probably read a good bit of his material by now.
Yeah, I mean, I've read a lot of the works that he has, obviously Dianetics through everything, plus a lot of his fiction works. I've read the things that he put out for people to read. I've also listened to a lot of the lectures that he gave, but I also have studied all of the books that are on his life. Like, he was a professional in many fields, so all those books cover it. And honestly, a number of times over, when I read it again and I get a new flavor of the story, it's very beautiful. Like, there's so many stories that he tells, and they're all very entertaining.
You seem to like to travel. That's a big plus, because I love to travel myself.
Yeah.
The more I get to go. So where are you going now? Just you like it there, huh?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I've been there as long as I've been there, but I also get the privilege to work with Author Services. I've done that now for 8 years, working with them.
Another good group of people over there.
Amazing. It's
they're always
my favorite time of year.
The only thing I miss about Author Services, I haven't seen my coffee yet this year, but we're working on that. We're working on that. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you don't know what I'm talking about, if you have listened to interviews about Author Services before, I always talk about this big cappuccino machine they got, which I'm going to raid sooner or later while I'm here. But I just have a thing for it. So tell me, so I want you to sum up, well, not sum up, it's bad word. I want you to talk just a little bit about Dianetics, not enough to give the whole story away, but just to kind of let people know why or what it is that pulled you in.
Yeah.
And what's keeping you here, I guess, is a better way of asking the question.
So I need to get personal?
Well, you're a very intelligent woman, so, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you have lots of other options in life, so I'm just curious to what it is that holds you here.
Yeah, I mean, it works. So, and that also is something that when I read the book and I also watched the video, there's a film that you can watch that takes you through chapter by chapter. But the point is that I studied it for myself to really look. And the point is that Dianetics is there. The word means, it's Greek, basically. So it's what the mind is doing to the body. So oftentimes things happen and you don't know why. And you don't know why you might feel a certain way or have a habit you can't seem to break. Or you have something that you don't understand about yourself or other people. And so Dianetics actually helps you to understand that. It's Dianetics, the modern science of mental health. And it's been around since 1950. It's a bestseller.
God knows we need some mental health around.
Yeah.
You said that out loud, didn't I? I'm sorry.
So the thing is that really gives you the knowledge that everybody's different. Everybody has their own experiences, but the mind works the same person to person. So if you can have a technology that helps you to handle the bad experiences and be able to be more in the present, that's really what Dianetics does.
So let's say, hypothetically,
yeah,
we meet somebody outside and they said, hey, I'm kind of curious about Dianetics. Should they come see you?
Yeah, they can absolutely come for the tour. We obviously have the film.
Show them.
We're there to answer questions and show people. That's really what it's all about.
Yeah. Well, I know the tour I was with, like I said, was very interesting. I enjoyed it a lot. And it let me see, I like to know facets of people.
Yeah.
I'm always interested in what actually makes people tick and why they're here and what they're doing, why they do what they do.
Yeah.
So you're a youngin' coming in this, and you must have really seen something in this that really put you over the top. Said, okay, I can do this. This is going to work for my life. Which, I mean, you seem to be a happy individual. Every time I see you, you're happy. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't mean every happy all the time before I get any emails now, because I know somebody's going to have, I'm miserable, Joe. I don't want to hear you're miserable. Come talk to Chelsea. All right, no, I take that back. Talk to somebody else, then come talk to Chelsea. Well, we don't want to give you all the praises right off the bat. Let's say, so you got in there. I mean, I see the church is all set up really nice. It's really, really pretty over there. There's lots of works to look through. So what would you recommend? Let's say just a newbie out there that's kind of thinking about this. What would you tell them the best thing to start off with to be? I mean, if they're interested in this and the whole 9 yards, I mean, is there a particular book you'd say, hey, read this first?
Really depends on the person, but reading any book is obviously the best way because you see for yourself, So if you're interested in the mind, obviously Dianetics, the modern science of mental health, would be something you would study. But if you were interested in other things, he's written so many things. The Problems of Work. He's also written a book called The Way to Happiness, which is a non-religious moral code. So it's just it's varied. So it depends on the person, what they like to study. But also we have the TV channel which people are welcome to go
How
to.
can they find it?
So you go to Scientology.tv, and you can just go through and find it's on DirecTV, Roku. You can go to YouTube. It's basically there to show people the same. It really gives information. There's also free courses people can do on the website. So you can check it out.
So yeah, y'all go check it out. Go watch some TV, get some understanding, then come bug Chelsea.
There you go.
I think that's a better program. Yeah, let's do all of that and then come bug Chelsea. So, but well, because I'm curious because I know there's a lot of people in this world now. There's 8 billion plus now, and all of us could use a little moral satisfaction. Actually, we can use a lot of things these days. So, I mean, when you're talking about this, I mean, you seem to be, let me rephrase this because I know a lot of people in this group.
Mm-hmm.
So as a group, y'all seem to be very well balanced, well educated, very comfortable in what you do. Would you attribute that to this?
Definitely, because Scientology means knowledge. The knowledge from L. Ron Hubbard is there for the person. So whatever it is that you're want to handle or want to know more about, it's life, and so it gives you tools to be able to handle life. And everybody's different, so everybody has their own things that they want to deal with or handle or know more about. Some people are really successful, but maybe there's something that they want to know more about. It's just everybody's different. So that's just, for me, it definitely helped with everything that I do, and being very determined to help others and to, give that knowledge to people. Like, that's also why we're there. Some people would like to know how to handle certain things. So that's my passion, is to communicate to everybody who L. Ron Hubbard was and the knowledge that he has available. And
that's good.
If it'll help someone, that's what we're there for.
Well, I mean, there always needs to be positive for every negative, and you're definitely there, and you can definitely help people in that area. So let's talk a little bit about you electrocuting me today, and
that's not true.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's not actually true, but I'm gonna let her explain it to you because I mean they were electrocuting people. No, I'm just kidding. It was a very interesting device. I was very still interested about it. So I want you now. I know this is going to be hard to just explain outright to non-people who really don't know what we're talking about, but just give them a little understanding, because this is something that does come up from time to time. People ask me about this, and of course, I'm completely unqualified to talk about it.
Sure.
It's not something I can say. Oh, all I can say is I have no idea. You have to ask somebody who knows what the hell they're talking about.
Right.
So in this case, you actually know what you're talking about, so you can tell them a little bit about it, and because what I want to do is I just want people to have a much better understanding of really the friendliness of everybody that we work with up here, and that y'all are this group of nice people who just want to see real change brought around, not evil change, not bad change, just real change.
Yeah.
And I figured you were a good spokesperson for this job.
Great.
So tell them a little bit about what we were doing.
Yeah.
About being electrocuted.
So.
I'm kidding.
Essentially, So what Joe is referring to is what's called an e-meter, and what that is often a misunderstood religious artifact, actually, that we have in any Scientology organization. Which people who use the meter, they're very trained, as much as college years, on how to use the meter, because you're responsible for the person in front of you to help them with whatever stress or problems or things that they have in their life. So the meter actually is a tool that measures thought. So the purpose of that is to help you pinpoint the past moments of pain or upset that are troubling you. So, if we knew what was wrong, you'd handle it. So the meter actually helps you through L. Ron Hubbard's exact technology to find what's happening. And so then you are able to find the answer for yourself. And, through specific questions that are asked, you're able to then locate that stress or that area of trouble so that you can handle it. And that is the amazing thing about the e-meter, is that you actually find, what is that trouble or that area, and you're able to handle it. And there's no evaluation. No one tells you what's wrong or what happened. You are discovering it for yourself. So in the museum, we have a display that has this meter so that people can find out, because that's the best way to do it, is look for yourself. So we obviously do demonstrations so people can see how does it work, that you can actually measure thought. And it is very scientific. but the purpose is solely that, to help the person find the past moments of pain or upset and be able to confront them in their entirety, which when you do that, then you're able to get rid of it.
So there's no alien just pulling stuff out your hair.
No.
It's just no fun. I'm just saying. I mean, we need an alien in here somewhere, man. No, actually, guys,
that's a different subject.
Actually, guys, I was picking it. It's completely painless. It's very interesting, actually. I still have no idea what it does, but Chelsea was very good at explaining it to me. But still, I'm a dummy, so I'll bug her about this more in the future. But it does seem like something interesting, and I know a lot of people are looking for ways to try to get rid of this emotional baggage that most people are carrying around from either childhood or divorce or being beat up or God knows what. I mean, we do live on a planet that anything can happen to you. So, I mean, this might be good for some of y'all who are looking for a way to get to whatever's in it that's bothering you. Nothing bothers me, so that doesn't really work for me. But just...
He's perfect.
But anyway, guys and girls, it is something y'all should look into. I know lately I've had a lot of people ask me a lot of different questions about John and the gang, and this is a good way for y'all to see what goes on around here. I mean, most of y'all have seen John with me on air many times. He's on Authors Quill with me. We've been on News on the Flip Side with me many times. So if you want to really know what it is, y'all go see him. We've talked about many different things, but we rarely talk about it with people like Chelsea because we're always usually too busy to squeeze them in. This year we're not as busy as usual because we did a lot of this before we got here, which was kind of nice. So you're all nice and happy now. So conquering the world or nothing.
One step at a time.
Okay, I can go for that. One step at a time. Well, I'm just I get all these. How can I say this politely? Bullshit rumors, and so I figured we clarify.
That was very
polite. Trust me, that was from what I was thinking. That was very polite.
Yeah.
But it's just things like what the meeting we were just talking about. I've heard so many different weird variations of that, even from people on my own staff. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, I said, well, now I can dispel all of that, which is nice, and this will actually help to dispel that as all. And then when we talk about Dynex, people I think sometimes get completely confused of what it actually is. I'll hear stuff like this or this or this or that, and I'm like, have you read the book? Well, no. I said, well, how can you say anything if you haven't read the book?
Right.
And ladies and gentlemen, really, let's be honest. It's like telling me you read a book and you didn't read the book. I mean, come on, read the book and then bitch or not, whichever one serves your purpose. But really and truly, if you're going to complain about anything, at least read the book, or in this case, listen to the book. Either way, but do one or the other.
Or watch the video.
Or that way at least you have an idea of what exactly these people are talking about. But don't ask me because I have not a clue. You'd be wasting your time. That's why Chelsea's sitting here and not me, because she knows what she's talking about and I don't. So wait, let's talk a little bit about the building.
Yeah. So
let's
okay.
Yes, I like the building.
So the building is a historic part of Hollywood. Like it's a historic landmark and registered as such. And today is the 33rd anniversary of the museum. So we have an open house down at the museum. So Joe came on the exact right day to get his tour on our anniversary. But the building itself is fully restored on the bottom floor to how it was and on the exterior when in 1924 when it was built. And this October is going to be the 100th anniversary of our building. So it's the Hollywood Guarantee Building. And Charlie Chaplin actually had an office on the second floor. So that was restored to how it was when he was there. So there's a lot of special, rich history in the building. It's totally a part of Hollywood. We love the Hollywood history and being able to be a part of it through, having restored the building and having Charlie Chaplin. Also, Cecil B. DeMille also had an office there. Had a Hopper, who was a newspaper columnist. She also had an office there. So it's very beautiful to have that whole thing. So the marble is restored. We've got the gold leafing and all of the architectural design on the inside. It's just a very beautiful building. So you're welcome to come for that too.
You did all that yourself. I mean, you didn't do it yourself, but
yeah, like in 91. So in 89, we purchased the building. Then the whole restoration happened, and it was a lot of man hours, but it was all done by the staff, like all the Church of Scientology staff members. All were the ones who restored the building, learned how to do gold leafing and the wainscot, which is the wood that goes around the lobby and throughout the whole place. Everything was our own 2 hands that we basically restored it to be back to the original way it was in the 20s and 30s, which was the beautiful time for Hollywood at that time. It was the beginning of the whole launch of Hollywood.
It's a beautiful building.
Yeah.
And I love architecture because one of the things I do, but
yeah,
it's
that's right.
Yeah, because we get all them old rickety buildings in the French Quarter, man. Some of them buildings should be tore down, but anyway, we're not going to go there. It's just there are some beautiful buildings down there. And I liked it when I came in and to see it's nice and well organized, well put together. It's a nice, easy tour. It's comfortable when you go through. Lots of things to look at, lots of things to listen to. By the way, they got videos and movies in there that y'all can watch. But this for the non-sayer, the no-sayer, or anybody who's never seen anything to do with L. Ron Hubbard or Scientology, this is the place to go to dispel a lot of the rumors that you've heard probably in the 70s and 80s. This is just a good place to go. And Miss Chelsea's one of the most honest people I've met, so y'all should go talk to her and sit. Yeah. And learn. Talk to somebody. It's always best firsthand knowledge. Anybody it is in life, if you need to know something, it's always best to get it from the horse's mouth, or in this case, it's just better that way. You learn so much more that way. You have an understanding about it. And before anybody sends me an email later on, it's a hard sell. No, it's not. Chelsea, and you don't do all the time, though. You're not the one that does all the tours, right?
No, there's two other people who work there.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, there's 2 other people who work there. One lady is Elisa. She's from Germany, so she's
very nice.
So people who speak German. She also learned Spanish herself, so she does most of our Spanish tours. She's amazing. She's very quick to learn, so she does our Spanish tours. She also speaks French and German, and obviously English. And then we have Rainey, who is from Taiwan, and so she does all of our Chinese tours. So, and English, so she speaks perfect English as well. So we kind of try to cater to international, because as I said earlier, it's an international city. So we've got a lot of people coming from all over. So we try to be able to help them. Plus the videos themselves are translated into 16 different languages. So you're able to see it in your language.
Now, I know somebody's going to send me this. How many millions of dollars does this cost to come to the museum?
Gosh, Joe, let me think. It's free.
No, don't say the free word now.
Oh, sorry. It's complimentary.
That's a bad 4-letter word.
So we as people come in, it's just to show people. That's what it's there for. So
I know people free. I know that's just scary, isn't it? It's when people hear free, they always get these weird ideas in their heads. It's actually very beautiful. Y'all should go walk through it and see it. And it really does portray his life in an easy manner to understand. It's not really complicated. Don't get me wrong, people. I'm sure there's complicated parts to the man, but when you're going through this, you don't have to experience in such that kind of light. You can go through it and experience it. And you can take your time going through and looking and listening, re-listening to things you want to hear. And of course, if you don't like it, you can always, leave. It's but for the average person who's got questions about this is the place to start. Because the other day somebody asked me if I could put him in touch with John Goodwin. I started laughing. I said, "Why would I do that?" Well, I got questions. I said, you ain't asking John questions. That's not how this works. I said, there's a line of authority here, people. Let's get this straight. So we'll ask Emily first. And but really, Chelsea's the person to come see, guys, because I know we have been getting a lot of, when I do a lot of tours lately, a lot of lectures lately, and it just always comes up in one shape, form, or fashion in the lectures. And I'm always asking you that. I'm always asked about Writers of the Future, but now it's people just want to ask me about Scientology, which I'm how can I say this politely, ill-equipped to answer. I mean, I can let me rephrase this, ladies and gentlemen. I can answer this way. I can tell you that the 3 people I'm sitting with in here are really good people and really nice people. I can tell you they're hardworking, insanely hardworking, actually. They make me look like I'm sitting still half the time. And y'all know I'm busy all the damn time. So, I mean, they go out of their way to be nice to people. If you could see the way they handle and treat not just the winners, but the judges as well. So remember, these judges have big books, big movies to them. They have to be treated with certain respect and certain manner that has to be handled. You don't want to piss off excuse my language, hack off a judge and have an issue. Now, so they really make hard to make sure everybody here is happy. And that's not an easy task by any means. I mean, you've got 24 winners from what was 7 countries this year? 8 countries this year. And some of them don't even speak that good English. I know last year was a couple of them, English was questionable, let's say. And but really and truly, they go out of the way and somehow they manage not to get on each other's nerves. At least if they do, They don't do it when anybody can see it, so that's always a plus. I'm not saying they're perfect, but I've never seen them lose a temper. And trust me, there are times I would have lost my temper. So the fact that they didn't says something right off the bat, and they really go out of their way to make everybody who's here feel welcome. They want to come back. And it's more than that. They want to see your career move forward, which is most places. Okay, you want a prize, here's your money, go home. That's not how they are here. So, and it's even better than that because I know some of the judges now because I've been here 4 or 5 years, and I see how some of these judges help these people down the line. Mm-hmm. Not just, I've also seen how some of the winners get together and help each other down the line. So it becomes almost like a kindred kind of thing. It's really nice to see, and it's just really nice to see something that actually works with not a bunch of hate involved in it. It's just a nice thing to see. So if you have these kind of ideas and any thoughts in your head, come see Chelsea. Chelsea can help you work some of these, actually put you on a machine and find out what's really wrong with your ass. And I'm just telling y'all, people, we're going to work this out one way or another.
Whoa.
And I'm just trying to get these people under control, man. There's 8 billion people out there. Did I do that? Well, y'all can see that on camera. Anyway, she's a really good woman. She's down here working her butt off. Y'all should come out and pay a little respect and a little homage and say hi. Don't tell them Joe sent you because she might not let you in. And, no, you got to go away. Come back another day when somebody else is doing the tour. Wait till the German lady's doing the tour. There you go. But really, you should come down and enjoy it for what it is. It's a great museum. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. It's very clean. It's very well put together. And it just flows nice and smoothly. And you can look for yourself. You don't have to worry about what this news company said or that reel said or this person said. You can look for yourself and read for yourself. And if you're going to criticize, which is a right of everybody on this planet to criticize, at least educate yourself before you criticize. I said, remember, people, when y'all see me on the news on the flip side, I'm criticizing a lot of people, but I'm well educated on what I'm criticizing and why I'm criticizing. And you need to be the same way. And personally, I think this is something that I wish I'd known about this earlier. We'd have been pushing this for the last couple of years. This is something for people just to come down and learn who the individual is. And not who the media says he is, or just who he actually is. And y'all can look for yourself. You ain't got to ask Chelsea. There's stuff all over the museum. You can walk around and look and see. I don't know if she's going to let y'all loose by yourself, though. I mean, some of y'all a little strange, but still, come down, check it out, get on the machine. Especially some of you people I know that are listening right now. Yes, I want. Can I bring some people to get on that machine? I got an idea.
You can bring people to do the whole tour so they'll understand the context. Do you know what I mean?
I just want to put them on the machine.
So, what about you? Like, if you hadn't done the whole tour, you wouldn't, So the point is, we do the whole tour, then you understand why he would have developed such a.
Fun. But really, y'all do need to come do the whole tour if you want. If you really want to know what we're actually talking about, you need to do the whole tour. Understand? Yeah. And then she can put you on the machine and tell y'all nuts. Crazy and need to go somewhere else. No, I'm kidding. But
you better be kidding.
No, not y'all. Y'all are sweethearts. I'm talking about the other 7.8 billion people on the planet. There are some strange people, and this is a good way. I've always been the same way. If anything that can actually help people without any cost to the individual, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about other things, but it needs to be explored. It needs to be looked at. John had given me a book. Oh God, this is when I first met him way back. I can't remember what it is now. And I was reading about Elron, and I realized that he was an adventurer. He liked to get out and get in trouble. A lot of he just liked to be. And when I say trouble, people, I'm not talking about bad stuff. I'm just talking in general, getting out and enjoying his life and learning about stuff. And that's after my own heart. I travel as much as I can. I always want to see and experience new things. And it's really who the guy is, and he really wrote about what he was doing. And Dianetics is just really a culmination of all of the stuff that he had done before. So read it, understand the man, either join, like it or not. That's entirely up to any individual who reads it. But again, don't criticize until you've read it. Then if you want to criticize, feel free. But until then, don't do that. I mean, I get tired of people telling me about stuff that they have no clue about what they're talking about. And I'm not just talking about John. I'm talking about a lot of other stuff. Some lady called me the other day that told me that Hillary Clinton was the best person on the planet. I'm like, okay, I love you too. And we'll leave that alone. It's just... where everybody's entitled to your beliefs, but really and truly educate yourself before you do it. Come see Chelsea, learn about what's going on here, learn about L. Ron Hubbard for who L. Ron Hubbard is, and maybe you can change your life, or maybe you can't. I'm not promising you anything. She might, but I'm not. but come get on the machine for sure. I'm just trying to get to tell him, not let me have no funny. I want you know what? Let me run that machine. I got some ideas. I got some.
You got to buckle down and train. Learn.
No. I got some new ideas. We can put some more electrodes inside of it. Some other I put no electrodes. Church don't have no fun. See, people, they're protecting you. I want to shock y'all up. And they're being nice to y'all. Anyway, if y'all listening to the Author's Quill, I know y'all know who John Goodwin is. He's actually sitting inside of here listening while I'm sitting here. So just come down. It's in Hollywood Boulevard. It's easy to find. It's not like it's hidden or anything. It's in a big building. You can find it pretty easy. It's a nice looking building. You got nice people working there. What else do you want? And you got good information. So come down and do that. So what else you want to tell these weird people that we have? And when I say weird, I mean they're weird. What else you want to tell these weird people? See, she don't think you're weird. I do. Okay. So two different opinions. What do you think? Anything else you want to tell these people?
In terms of anything. Well, I definitely agree with Joe in terms of just finding out for yourself and being able to look for yourself to see. That's the best way, especially in today's world. How do you know about something unless you don't study it or read it or learn for yourself from the source, right? So there's obviously a lot of things that are said. So the best thing is to go to the source. And that's part of the reason why the museum has been there for 33 years, because, we need to show people who L. Ron Hubbard is and what he did,
People, the only things that can change is people learn.
Yeah.
And pay attention. So let me ask you this, and then I'm going to let you get out here after this, but tell me, I know y'all have had some new church openings. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah. So
tell me a little bit about it. What you can tell me about. I know it's just,
yeah. I mean, we had
I know this much, so you're educating me as well as them at this moment.
So yeah, we actually had 4 new churches open. So we had first in Austin, Texas, that opened like a month and a half ago. Beautiful. It was my first time to Texas. I loved it. Texas. Great brisket.
Texas, fun place.
Yeah, it's very, very beautiful. It's right next to the obviously the school. So it's perfect. It's a lot of people can go look for themselves. University of Texas. So that was the first one was in Austin, and then we had what's that attending about close to 2,000, I believe, that were at the grand opening. So the grand opening happened, and obviously how it works is we work a lot with the community. So then there's speakers that are within the community. So they speak and they, welcome our church there, because that's what it's all about. It's a very much inclusive of everybody, like all faiths. You don't have to change who you are when you study Scientology or L. Ron Hubbard's technology. It's use it your whatever your faith is, you don't change that. Obviously, you can be of any faith and also study and be a Scientologist. So we are open to everybody, and everybody can come and look. So that was amazing. That was like the first church that we'd opened in Austin, Texas since the pandemic, basically. And then after that was Del Valle in Mexico City. So that was very exciting. They had a lot of people. Yeah, my husband actually got to go. He's from Mexico, Mexico City specifically. So his best friend is actually the executive director of Del Valle Church Scientology there. So that opened. It was a huge, big deal, very beautiful. They did it at night, of course, because the Spanish like to stay up late.
Yes.
So that happened. And then right after that, 2 days later, was then in Chicago. And Chicago then was a beautiful sunny day. It was amazing. So
got lucky.
Right. So we got, I also attended the Chicago grand opening. That was also very beautiful. And again, it's open to anybody. So they've been having since they opened, having a lot of new people coming in. It's the same. It's really there to show you. You have, introductory panels that really you can just go look for yourself. You can take little informational DVDs. Those are all complimentary. You can sit and watch any videos you want to there, or you can take them home. It's like very, it's really there for anybody who wants to look. And then we also opened one in Paris. that just happened, which was amazing. So that was on April 6th. So absolutely gorgeous building. You can see all of them on our website.
I'll have to take my station manager to that one since she's always in Paris.
It's gorgeous. I didn't get to go to that one, but I wanted to.
Oh, that's the one you need to go. Yeah, that's the one in Paris.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a little thing. It's not for French people, just for Americans. But so let me ask you a question, because every now and then somebody asked me about this. And matter of fact, just before I came up here, a lady I was in New Orleans with a group of friends right after Mardi Gras. She said, how do you become a scientist? I said, I have not a clue. I said, I don't even think they just let weirdos in like you, man. I said, I said, they got standards, man. They're not like you other people. But anyway, I'm just kidding. People don't get mad at me. I don't know Christians calling me tonight, but I really don't. I mean, could anybody just walk into the church? Or?
Anybody's welcome to go into the church and find out for themselves. But really, the key thing is that if you look for yourself and read a book, you read a book, you see it, if it makes sense to you, also L. Ron Hubbard was an educator. So a very big thing in Scientology is knowing how to study. Because if you want to study anything, whether it's Scientology or in any field, you have to know how to learn. And it's a big thing. It's not just about memorizing things. It's knowledge, is knowingness of yourself and others. And so that's why it's very important that when you read a book, you read it for yourself and for your own understanding, and you apply it. That's really what it's about. It's an applied philosophy. So you study and apply to better whatever aspect of your life. So when you read a book and you see it, it's not like you decide for yourself when you'd like to, do the next step. Great. That's up to you.
So
but
I
you do that.
Burst in flames when I walk in. Every time I go to Catholic church, I catch on fire.
Oh, really?
Not just, I think last time church caught on fire. So I don't want to burn no churches down.
No.
You sure now, girl? All right, I'm just asking because some of us are not good on religion sides.
Well, obviously the purpose of religion is really to raise a person, up, help them improve.
Actually,
That's the fundamental.
I do have one kind of hard, serious question for you. Because I've been actually asked this at colleges a couple of times. Why did Elon decide to make it a religion and not just a science? I know I'm putting the pressure on you. It's not a question you have to answer, but I'm curious.
No problem.
Okay.
So the thing is that Scientology itself, so philosophy is senior to religion. So you obviously have knowledge, you have philosophy, you have knowledge about life. That is the philosophy, right? And it's applied. But how are you going to apply the philosophy if you don't have people that are going to help you to do that? So our churches, our staff that are applying then and delivering the philosophy to people. And so you have to then have a church, which then obviously religion anyway is there. If you look up the word, it's really there to help uplift the individual and the society and make people better. That's really any faith. Any religion ultimately is there for that, right?
Good job.
So
I'm impressed.
Scientology philosophy is there to take the individual and raise them up and have more ability, more freedom, more knowledge about themselves and other people and how to achieve your goals. And that's why you then have a church, because you have to go somewhere to then receive Dianetics or to do a course about communication or to do a course about raising children or having a successful marriage. I mean, this is all parts of life, and that's all there in any of the churches.
You don't want some children, right? I need some extra children. I got some 30-year-olds I want to send y'all. You sure you don't need some extra?
You're a good dad. I'm sure you're a good dad.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good dad.
What the difference between the practice and the philosophy? Just some people confuse we are with like going to a church and you have all the dogma and stuff.
Yeah. So obviously the philosophy or the knowledge is there for the person to study and look for themselves. That's like a very big principle. It's not something you believe in that, you don't have to believe in a certain way. It's like you study it, you see for yourself. The biggest principle that L. Ron Hubbard has in Scientology is what's true for you is what's true. And you keeping that and having your integrity to know what you've studied and what's true for you, that's what you follow. So the thing is in Scientology, when you read it, or any of the knowledge, Dianetics or Scientology, it's something that you study and you learn for yourself, and then you apply it, and then you go, that makes sense. Like, for example, the communication course, right? You want to learn how to better communicate, because in relationships, the bedrock is communication. So whether it's relationships like friends, work, your wife, your husband, your kids, whatever it may be, if you know about communication and you can apply it and you see that works, that's what you're applying. It's not, we don't, pray to L. Ron Hubbard. If you are Christian or Catholic and you have that faith, like my husband's from Mexico, he's Catholic, his whole family's Catholic, but you don't have to change who you are. You can. I
don't think I've ever met anyone from Mexico that wasn't Catholic.
Right? I mean, that's kind of that way.
It's just one of them things, I guess.
But that's where it's,
Catholics, I love y'all too. Okay. Well, you send me any emails, I love y'all too. At one time, I was a Catholic, many, many moons ago, and we'll just leave it at that. Probably before you was born.
So you remember that I've been working at the museum for 26 years.
Yeah, so
right?
It's still probably before you were born. I'm old. What can I say? I'm old as dirt. So,
and obviously, if there's more, like there's the TV channel, the websites, they all are there to answer also these questions. If I didn't do a good enough job, you can also check those websites.
Sure, you did a fabulous job, by the way. WritersOfTheFuture.com. You can go there if you want to get involved in this. If you want to buy a book, GalaxyPress.com. Sorry, you think I know that by heart. Any other links you want to give them?
You can go to the Scientology.tv. You're welcome to check out lronhubbard.org. You can also, there's free courses on Scientology.org. There's 19 free courses you can do on marriage, on communication, on many things. You'll see them all there. Assists for illnesses and injuries. It's a very varied. Causes suppression. That's another very good one. Another one called the emotional tone scale. These are all things that are very important for life. So you're welcome to check any of those out.
Yeah, I'm going to have to call you. We need to modify this little thing we had earlier. We need to put some electrodes in there. Joe, no fun.
Did you have fun, Joe? Did you have fun?
I had a great time.
You had a great time.
And I know y'all hear me teasing, but this thing is just no harm to it. Matter of fact, she had to get on my ass for holding it too tight a couple of times. It's very interesting. And I know because we have a lot of people ask us about this, and I know some of the people can answer the questions. How can I say this? Anyway, asinine. We'll just leave it like that. I was going to say haphazardly, but I couldn't get it out at the time. So this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I think you were the right person for this particular interview. I mean, very knowledgeable on it. You're very unoffensive. People like me are scary. They know John, but they might think John has ulterior motives. They don't know you. You don't have ulterior motives. So you were just the right person for this interview, and frankly, I think you knocked it out of the park. What you got, John? We want to get anything else on it before we leave? Or?
Yeah, I like to do. We
can flip flop around.
We can flip flop around, and thank you very much, Chelsea. And then as long as we make it so that Joe Madman Montalvo. Okay, good.
Well, who put that on it? Somebody been playing with my thing.
So we'll swap it out here because we're here for a reason.
Just sit down. Now the good-looking guys are together now, huh? Y'all should see us from when we was in with Dragon Con. We got some good pictures of Dragon Con.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, Chelsea did awesomeness. That was really good.
I know you did a fabulous job.
Chelsea, yeah, really that was great.
And our producer over here is doing a great job. Tell everybody who you are, producer.
Yeah, I'm Josie. I'm behind the camera.
Yes. Y'all are missing out too because you're really cute.
But you're here for a reason this week.
Yes, we am for here.
So, and this is Authors Quill, and we've got some of the top-selling authors of science fiction and fantasy going to be here over the next.
We had 12 winners, right?
We have 12 writer winners, and they're all here right now. The workshop started today, and it's being taught right now by Jody Lynn Nye, who's published hundreds of books, and Robert J. Sawyer, who's the Dean of Canadian Science Fiction. He's won every major science fiction award that exists.
Matter of fact, guys, Young Kiss Jody's interview was just on before this one.
Yeah. And she's the coordinating judge. Yes. And so she goes over what she looks for and what's important. Why science fiction, fantasy, serious debt to L. Ron Hubbard's Rise of the Future contest, because I think we calculated a few weeks ago, we're at about a 64% success rate of the winners over the 40 years who went on to major careers in science fiction and fantasy. It's crazy good. We get so many reviews from major review publications saying nothing's done more for science fiction and fantasy than Writers of the Future.
And they got some serious judges, people. I mean, they got judges with serious movies.
Yeah, Orson Scott Card's going to be here in a couple of days. He's the guy that wrote Ender's Game.
You got Ender's Game. You got Dune. You got the new Dune.
Yeah, we got Kevin Anderson. He's in the credits above the actors even in the movie. Tim Powers. He'll be here in a couple of days. He's
Caribbean, right?
Yeah, he Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, On Stranger Tides was the book that he wrote that got turned into Pirates of the Caribbean. Well, like I said, Rob Sawyer, he wrote a book called Flash Forward, which was made into a TV series by ABC a few years ago. And
not including how many, just tons of books these people have. I mean, like Dean Leslie Smith, how many books does he have now? It's a godly amount of books.
A couple hundred books he's got. Kevin's up to like 160 books now. He's very prolific. So we'll have like 20 judges here, all major names in science fiction and fantasy. And then in 12 winners, they're from 4 countries for the writer winners and another 4 countries from the illustrators who are all arriving today. So we have 8 different countries represented this year. So last night at the opening welcome thing, we had UK, we had Malaysia, she's from Kuala Lumpur, Canada and the US. And then today we've got Pedro from Portugal, and we've got New Zealand, and we got 2 more countries. So a total of 8 countries this year with winners, which is just awesome that we have this. But
they all spoke pretty good English too when we did the interviews. That was
nice. Yeah, it was good. You've interviewed everybody.
Everybody's been interviewed. Yes.
So it's going to make it easier for you now to talk to these people even more.
We got a little bit more of y'all staff to get, and then we're going to get poor Carmen don't know he's getting interviewed.
Good for him.
I'm telling you, it's going to be a surprise.
Yeah. So Carmen, sit down.
So Carmen, let's chat for a little while. Oh wait, I'm turning. Oh, it must have been on, Carmen. I didn't know it was on. Damn, sorry. And then we got a couple others we want to get out. Besides that, then we got a couple of judges we want to talk to this year. Jody still holds a record on our Facebook page. I mean, not Facebook page, our YouTube page.
Wow, good for her.
She still holds it for interviews.
And the interview just went up right now. It's going to do really well too, because she really gets into it, the value of it and what she's looking for.
She's a good spokesperson.
Yeah,
good teacher. So she's a lot of fun to listen to. And
we also talk about AI in writing and how it's take advantage of this contest if you're a writer, and we do everything we can to dissuade people from using AI to write. It's like we need to create the best that AI can do is scrape the internet after all the books that's plagiarized and ripped off to be able to put something together. And so that's not what this is about. And of course, as soon as we say no AI, some bleep for brains is going to try to game the system.
You know that. Somebody has to try. It's just one of the things. But somebody's always going to think they're bigger and better and smarter.
But we'll find about for judges and for the illustrators. We've got some of the biggest names in illustration art as well that are there, and they can see stuff because they themselves have created every forms of art. And so when they see something, they go, "So show me your layer files," and they can't do that, or they'll try to create layer files using AI and say, "No, this isn't you."
No,
and so they get disqualified. But it's unfortunate with the illustrators contest, we disqualify a lot of people when they come up like, "This is AI, this is AI, this is AI." But the people are really working at trying to make it go. We're behind you all the way, and that's what this contest is about. When L. Ron Hubbard created it in 1983, it was to provide that launching pad for writers. Because it's hard. There's a lot of people out there, and it's 2024 now. In 2022, there were, I think it was 4 million books published. That's a lot of books. So how do you get yourself known? How do you rise above that amazingly heavy din of just book noise out there? So this contest does that.
You know what? I want to ask you about. Somebody asked me about Quick Start the other day, and for some reason I never explained it adequately enough or something. Because somebody asked me, could they put their they want to know could they put their podcast? And I said, no, I think it's pretty much just for books and art, right?
From what I know,
I haven't seen.
I know that Kickstarter's crowdfunding is what it is. Is Brandon Sanderson, one of our judges, set the record on books on any campaign on Kickstarter. $42 million he raised.
What load of money?
That's all. And he just did another one about a month ago where he was like $18 million he made. Just crazy successful as an author.
I'm going to have to marry this guy, man.
But he's got, he set a record, but now we've got Dean Wesley Smith. He does 6 Kickstarters a year right now, very successful. Kevin Anderson has done multiple Kickstarters. We have some of our winners from a few years ago have done Kickstarters, and I've actually promoted several of our people using the podcast with Kickstarters as a means to fund a book. You've got all these books out there right now, a lot of people, that want to be able to publish, and it's done now. You've got like 5 big publishing houses, the old school, the standard way of publishing, which is kind of like transforming now to indie publishing. And that's, where you can go out there or self-publishing, and you can go through Amazon Kindle, or you can go through, I just did another interview that went up, about a month and a half ago with another program that you can use to publish yourself. And there's more ways that you can actually get yourself published that will enable you to get out there. But again, how to get yourself above the noise?
Yes, you better get out there and get a lot of podcast people or a lot of TV
Podcast
shows.
is definitely a way that it helps.
It helps, but it's not enough. You need a TV appearance, or you need something that, in other words, see, when we're talking about the $40 million, $2 million, he actually was known. So it's a little different. So if somebody up there who's got a great book, you put it up there, but you only got 5 people following you,
right,
you're not going to make what you're looking for. And when you set your Kickstarter price, you have to make the price so you don't get any of the money. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I'm going to put 50 million. No. Let's start off for like $1,000.
Yeah.
And I go from there.
You have to start, and then you can have your levels above that. But you have to start enough so you're able to fund what you need to do without making a profit, so you can actually produce a book. Because if you don't hit that first goal, then it doesn't pay out at all. You get nothing. So you need to set your first goal at a level that you can actually make
attainable, yeah.
And then you need to really promote it. So you make that level, then you can do your various bonus levels. You can go after.
Google said they're looking at a way to track the AI especially for illustrators. He said for authors right now, it's not that big of a deal because obviously when you read a book,
yeah,
when you get about halfway through it, you can tell it's like jibber jabber in the middle of the book.
Yeah.
But for artists, it's getting a little harder. So they're actually going to develop software, they said, that you can just run that will tell you if it was made by an AI program, because all the AI programs now are going to be built with a stamp. So when AI program's used, it's going to leave a little, like 2 little keyword behind it that lets you know that it was an AI, it was a bot. And the reason why is because, like Google said, if we use it and it goes viral and somebody else wants to use it, I can't do anything about it because you can't copyright AI. He said, so we need to know that we're using material that we can go back and say, okay, we like what AI did, but we're going to have to develop it ourselves if we want to make any money off of it.
Right.
And it's getting there. So we'll see what goes with that.
Yeah, and copyright laws have not changed. You still, those rules have definitely not changed. And so you cannot copyright AI. It still cannot be copyrighted. So if you think you can't, no, you can't. If someone told you you can't. Plain and simple that way.
So if you go make some AI and it goes viral and it makes you a bunch of money, and then John and Joe over there at Chelsea decide they're going to use it too, and they make a bunch of money, there's nothing you can do about it. You can just say, well, I'm glad y'all made money too. And if they have a better program than yours or better advertisement, then they may make your money.
Yeah.
When it could be all your money if you'd have done it the right way. So I'm just telling you, it's a cautionary warning, people, when you get into AI. You may get something that's gold, and then you end up sharing it with everybody on the internet. So it's not where you want to go.
Yeah. Now with Rise of the Future, because one thing about it, it's we don't use the F word, we use the C word now. It's all complimentary. So everything on the riseofthefuture.com is complimentary. We don't say it's free anymore, evidently.
That's right.
Bad
word.
Free is bad. So complimentary is a good word. That's right. So on there, you've got the website, riseofthefuture.com, where you can go and you can find who all these judges are we talk about. They're just, we say, yeah, they're the best of the best. It goes all the way back to like Frank Herbert. He's the guy that wrote Dune. He was one of the first judges. We have going back to the golden age of science fiction, some of the judges that were the contemporaries of L. Ron Hubbard they were the first judges. And the same thing with the illustrators of the future. The people that were the first judges were the big names of illustration during the golden age of science fiction. Frank Frazetta, who's just, I mean, his paintings now are selling for $6 million. Crazy successful. I mean, he passed some years ago, but it's just that's the caliber of judges that we have. Larry Elmore, who you've met, he's not here this year. He'll be here next year. He's one that created all the original art for Dungeons and Dragons, and just.
If y'all can, I would call Larry, and you actually pay him money to tell y'all stories. I'm telling you what.
He's just got so many good stories, and some of these illustrators, they're just the humblest people you'd ever want to know. It's like, oh, I'm no good. People, I'm just an old guy. I'm just like.
When he was on the couch with Echo and Tom, he put him to shame. You know, Echo and Tom, friends of mine, but Larry, I talked to him too, and me as well. Okay, the three of us were trying to get a word in, and not even a shot. Larry just put us to shame, and then somebody texted in, who is this guy again? Jesus, Joe, you need to give him a job. It's like,
yeah.
So he already makes far more money than I can get him.
He was funny because he does this stuff, and he said, now I'm finally able to do my own stuff. I don't need to work for somebody else now, because he's done so many corporate stuff. And then he had these boxes of his sketches, original sketches and stuff like that, and that he did for his paintings. And he's going to throw them away and say, no, don't. So they started putting them up on eBay, and he's selling the little sketches for like, I'm selling for $9,000. So I paid $20,000 for this. Can you believe that? Just like that. So he's just, he is just doing so well, and it's just an amazingly nice person. But those are the caliber of judges that we have, and so that's. When you go to the website, you can see the writer judges, illustrator judges. And we also have two. You can navigate on the left side of the left bar of the website, where you can then enter the writers contest or enter the illustrators contest. We have the forum. That's right.
Can you see it on there?
Yeah.
So this is book 40. It's 40th anniversary.
It hasn't been released yet, so this is like a sneak preview.
The little tag up there that says this is for.
It hasn't been released yet. We made about, I think, 50 of them up front, and I sent my last copy to Joe. So that's what this is. I don't even have a copy.
And this is the one I read about a week ago, and then I read part of it again on the airplane coming in because of the people I want to interview. But y'all can get it. You can go to Amazon. You can go to Galaxy Press, and you can order it. And look, when you order from GalaxyPress.com, say attention believer from Joe. Okay. No, really, I'm serious. Y'all get me in trouble with this girl, people. Y'all better straighten out up there. I don't want to hear her jumping on me. Look, go get the book, advanced copy. It's got a lot of good stories in it. You're going to really enjoy it. It's got a lot of good artwork in it, which is, I'm not going to show y'all, but it's right here.
Yeah, you're not going to show that. You're not going to show that.
You can't see this. You can't see that. You can see the back of the book.
Wow, look at that.
That looks
Whoa,
really good.
Look at that.
So y'all
amazing.
Y'all gonna have to wait till a couple of days to see the inside. Maybe Friday I'll show y'all.
Show them again.
See how pretty it is.
These guys this is going to flip out when they actually see the art for the stories. That's going to be on Monday this year, where we're going to have. So in 2 days, they're going to have the big reveal where they see the artists and the writers meet up when they actually see their art for the first time.
So when the reveals, and we won't broadcast the reveal live, but we will carry it, and then it will go up when everything's done and edited. So you'll get to see the artwork on there, and then you'll see. I always take individual pictures of each piece of art while the artist and writer are crying. It always makes it better when there's tears streaming. Mm-hmm. But by the way, I think I'm kidding, but there's a lot of kids. It's all good stuff. It's so great to see the artist and the illustrator hook up for the first time on the book. It's just a great thing. But y'all get to see that Monday evening. Sometime we'll post it up, and y'all be able to see some of the artwork, and then probably Tuesday. And the gala's Thursday. It'll be live.
On Tuesday, you're going to get your coffee. You're going to get your cappuccino.
Oh, yes, good.
On Tuesday.
I just want to go to the office services and steal some coffee.
I'm going to give it to you. You don't have to steal it.
What's her name over there that makes my coffee?
Well, John makes your coffee too.
Yes, you do too. But what's her name? I always
Sophie?
Call her Helga. Yeah,
French?
Sophie. Yeah, I love that one. And she makes a good cup of coffee.
Yeah.
She makes a good cup of tea too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes, people drink coffee and tea. What can I say? Get over yourself. But we're getting ready to close up in a few minutes. Anything else we want to tell them before we get out of here?
We'll definitely like just to repeat the fact that if you like science fiction and fantasy, I can really promise you, you can go to riseoffuture.com, but you can also go to the Facebook page, riseoffuture.com, and just see some of the reviews coming in right now. One person, one of the biggest science fiction short story review publications in the world, said, this book totally restored my love of short fiction. It's getting just rave reviews coming out. It's just
easy to read. Man.
Yeah, it's really easy to read. And we've got these stories. They're they're appropriate for middle school on up. We've got all types of stories: it's science fiction, fantasy, alternate history, light horror, dark fantasy. And what's interesting this year, which I've never seen before, I think 8 of the stories are written first person, and that's really difficult to pull off a good first person or a person talking. The person whose story. Normally they're in third person. It's not they, he, that type of stuff. But this is I, me, and so by having like that, it makes it very much more personal when it's first person. But it's also maybe a little bit of the coming out of the pandemic, and people are like really dealing with life situations and coming back and connecting back up again. So this book really helps